Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at crackthefemalecode.com. Alright, so I'm back. And this time it's for the long haul. So I started in the personal development industry way back in the 90s. I mean, literally about 1991 was my first Tony Robbins seminar. I studied psychology at Chico State and also Arizona State, and I studied under Dr. Robert Cialdini. He wrote a book, a very, very popular book, a #1 best hit seller, is a book called Influence. So I started learning. I started learning NLP again my early 20s. I think it was around 19 technically when I started, but it was around 2021 when I started taking advanced courses through Tony Robbins' company again way back in the 90s. Then I started traveling all over the United States studying NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, Ericksonian hypnosis, timeline therapy, everything I can get my hands on, including energy healing and a couple other technologies that helped you to understand human behavior, how to influence, how to stimulate, etc. And I began to take all of this and try to understand like what's going on between men and women. So back in the mid to late 90s, I started putting ads in the Bay Area. One was called Seduction Power, the most powerful form of romance, love, and seduction. And I still have that URL, seductionpower.com. And I started going to the two most popular clubs in San Francisco. One was called the Bubble Lounge. The other one was the Matrix. That essentially was my home, and it's now called the White Rabbit, but let's go back a little bit. So it's called the Matrix. I spent years going to that club. I mean, probably 5 or 6, maybe 8 years. And people began to call me the Love Doctor, the waitresses, etc. In fact, this picture with the Asian girls was actually in the back room of the Matrix. So since I became a household name there, and all the girls would refer people to me who had problems with dating and understanding guys, and why are guys this and guys that, and essentially what it is, men and women are wired differently. Our mating systems are wired differently. So here's the reason I made this video. This is what's triggered or stimulated me to make this video tonight. So a lot of women will make these videos on YouTube, and here's how to meet women, here's how to talk to a woman, so there's this young lady, she's got a video on YouTube tonight, and I'm watching it, and she's saying what you need to do is make her feel comfortable. You gotta create a warm vibe. And she's telling you what to do, but here's the problem. She doesn't tell you how to do it at all. So the problem with listening to women is they don't understand what's missing between men and women, okay? And it's really not that. I'm going to try to put it, I think I typed it out. Maybe let me read this off first. So I said, so what I'm teaching here is the hidden keys that pull all of the pieces together. Without these hidden keys, all the dating tips, tricks, relationship coaching strategies you've learned are useless. They're empty tricks with zero power. You want power? You found it. Seduction Power. Alright, here's my typical experience with my client. Most of my clients have taken all the pickup artist courses, read dating relationship books, gone to Tony Robbins seminars, and they'll then come to me, and as I'm going through my course, they're like, well, what is this? Because nothing you learn in my course, other than some NLP things which I do add, which are very powerful, they're like, well, why isn't Tony Robbins teaching this? Why isn't so-and-so teaching? Like, I don't understand. This is like, I'll get some clients go, well, this isn't pickup artist stuff. It is, but it's different. It's much, much more powerful. You haven't realized it yet, but you stumbled across a course which will blow away any of the other courses. You will never find these teachings anywhere else out there. It just won't happen. If you want to get started on this, buy my book, Crack the Female Code. Go to crackthefemalecode.com or mikekollin.com, MikeKollin.com. They both go to the same website. What I ultimately recommend is buy the ultimate package, okay? It's got all of my books in there for men at a much discounted rate, okay? So here's the thing. Read my book, Crack the Female Code. I promise you the book sells the course, and that is the idea, to get you into the course, and the course is expensive. Okay, I'm going to give you some stuff right now. Number one, our mating systems are wired to a different part of our brain. Both of our mating systems are in the lower reptilian brain. That's a small part of the brain which is on the brainstem. Okay, you have the large left logical brain, the male brain, and then you have the right brain, which is the creative, emotional, spiritual brain. Okay, it's the internal brain. The male brain is the external brain. Now watch this. This is really important. So there's a third brain that's underneath the two larger hemispheres. Okay, in that brain is our fight and flight and instinctual system. It's just like a lizard. It's just like a reptile. It's literally instinctual. The left brain is the logical brain. It is about processes and patterns and steps. Okay, there's no actual thinking going on there. The right brain is the brain that we call the human brain. It's about emotions. It's about feelings. It's about in-depth, now listen closely, in detail, and this is going to come back, communication. This is really important. Now watch what happens with our mating systems. The thing that triggers us sexually and turns us on sexually. Alright, now follow along. This is pure Western college science, okay? Psychology and neurology, the way our brains are physically wired, the way where our nerves connect from point A to point B. By the way, point A to point B is the left brain language. That's the male language. Women speak a hidden language. They do it all the time. They don't hide it from you. Your brain literally cannot pick up on it. Once you learn it, and again, it's in the course, it's not in the book. The book breaks down so much scientific stuff, how the female mating system is, how this is and that is, and I do give you some tips and tricks. I do give you some NLP techniques in there that you can apply immediately, but the power comes from the course. I've had men call me and read my book, Cracked Female Code, and they're just like, dude, this is amazing. Well, I had a couple clients call me and say, you just gave the course away. I was like, that's literally less than 5% of the course. That book is designed to get your brain prepared for what you're about to learn. So the power comes from the course. Do not be surprised by the book alone. There's a lot more to it than that. Alright, so let's talk about our mating systems. So now listen closely. Number one, the left brain is the external linear brain. It means it goes in a line. It literally is the same processor as the old IBM computer's processor. Remember the word Linex, L-I-N-E-X, L-I-N-E, line. The male brain's processor is the linear, L-I-N-E-A-R, external processor, L-I-N-E, line. It means it processes in a line. The female right brain processor is very much like this image. It is a spiraling, circular, expanding processor. It's like the Apple computer's processor. It's much more in alignment with that. The right brain is about the five senses: see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. In the old days, it said, oh yeah, the IBM computers are for business and Apple is for art and music, etc. Because it was all about the sounds and the colors, etc., like the right brain: see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. Now, growing up and over the years, I'm sure you've heard men say, oh, women are crazy, they speak in that circular logic. You're right, it literally is circular logic. Now, a lot of men will then say, women don't make any sense. You're correct, because they're speaking the right brain language, which is not processed through the left brain linear processor. It does not work. So to the left brain, the right brain language doesn't make any sense. And you know what? You're right, it doesn't. So what we teach you to do in my course is open you up to the right brain so you can process in the same way. Now, here's the deal. You know how a lot of guys, like, you don't pick up on their body language, and women say, oh my god, I threw myself at that guy, he didn't even notice, I was completely flirting with him. Well, they're flirting in the right brain body language and in the right brain communication language. So when they do that, your left brain doesn't understand that they're being sexual at all. But when you open up to the right brain, all of a sudden a whole new world opens up to you. It becomes obvious. And then all those years hearing women say, oh, men are so blind. It's like I threw myself. And then you're like, oh my God. Once you see it from the right brain processor, it becomes obvious. All right, let's go back to the linear, the linear, non-linear right brain. Oh, by the way, the left brain is linear math, which we learned in elementary, middle school, and high school. When you get into college, you start to learn non-linear. It means not in a line, meaning in a circle. So when you study physics and also study college math far enough, you start to learn what we call non-linear math or non-linear physics. That's the right brain processor. So when men say women speak in circles, you're right, except every time it goes around the circle, it's adding to what it said the first circle and expands more. It literally is the internal circular or expanding circle. It's a constant growing and expanding circle. So it does process in the opposite way that the left brain does. So this is why men and women don't understand each other. So if you're a guy who's been divorced, you're thinking, wait a minute, could this save my marriage? Absolutely. Just so you know, I'm actually speaking the male language on this video. I'm using a lot of science and a lot of facts because your brain relates to that. If I started speaking the right brain language, you'd be like, what's this guy saying? It doesn't make any sense. But soon enough, it will. Alright, so we got the external left brain versus the internal right brain. Now watch how the mating system connects. So for males, again, for both men and women, our mating systems are in the lower reptilian brain. They're in the same place. They're in the fight or flight system, the instinctual. See, the reptilian brain basically has two jobs. Number one, fight or flight to keep you alive. Fight or flight means to be strong and fight or to run, okay, to keep you alive. Number two, its number two job so number one job is to keep you alive. The number two job is to reproduce so the human species continues on. In other words, this is why we get horny all the time, is because we need to reproduce to stay alive. One thing that a lot of men don't understand is women get really, really horny, but there's a couple keys here. They don't do it all the time like we do. They have an ebb and flow, and you got to be able to see that ebb and flow. The only way you can see it is from learning how to be internal, which is what I teach in my Cracked Female Code course for men. It's a 6-day course. We take you through the whole series. We teach you these techniques on how to go inside and how to connect and open up to your right brain, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, she's not attracted at all right now. Like, no, so there's no reason to approach her right now because she's just going to get irritated with you. But then you're going to see women who are like, wait a minute, they're actually connected to their mating system. Yes, now is the time to talk to her. This saves you a lot of time, effort, and money on wasting your time and wasting your money on her. Alright, let's go to the mating system. So check this out. So the male mating system, it's in the lower reptilian brain. It has a nerve or two nerves that break off and connect to the optic nerve, which connects to the eyes. So remember, the left brain is the linear external, meaning outside of your body, processor. It's looking outside and processing externally. The right brain goes inside into the emotions and feelings. It's called the internal processor. So men get turned on by looking at a woman's body, okay? Her tits, her butt, her smile, her lips, maybe have red lipstick on it. She makes makeup. See, the reason, okay, watch this. Here's the really weird thing. The reason why women wear earrings and do their hair and wear lipstick is because they don't understand it, because they're not wired externally to their eyes like you are. But they've learned at a very young age, man, for some reason men are very visual. When I swivel my hips, they look. When I flip my hair, they look. This is literally equivalent to a fish lure when you're going fishing. You cast it out there, you reel it in, and it spins and flips and goes in circles. It has usually flashy metal or colors on it, spinny things to get your attention. Now, watch this. The female mating system is in the same place as the male in the lower reptilian brain, but it has a nerve that curves off to the... Now, listen closely, because a lot of men say, communication, I've got my master's degree in communication. No, not logical communication. What you learn in high school and college is logical, linear, external communication. No, in fact, that will turn her off. I'm about to explain why this course is so powerful. That nerve curves off to the right brain's communication center. Now stop. I want you to just think about that, because for some reason men, they don't get this, and it blows my mind. I learned this in psychology class. Like, how did psychologists not put this together back in the 80s or 90s? It didn't make any sense to me. It's the right brain's communication center, meaning I'm going to point to my ears. For men, I point to my eyes. Men are turned on visually. Women are turned on auditorily through a hidden form of language and a series of words. I'm pointing to my right ear right now because that's where her mating system is connected to. So all these guys are trying to put like fucking all these facial creams and stuff on because they want to look youthful, they want to look beautiful, and all this bullshit. Guys, women are not attracted to visual. When you try to look good, you turn her off. She thinks, oh, he'll be my gay friend. This is why a lot of women think these guys are gays, because, you know, they're getting their hair cut perfectly, they're putting moisturizer on, now there's these new expensive face things that keep your youth. And I'm like, men are becoming women and they don't even realize it. Now watch this, so it kind of makes sense. Not in reality, but from the male's mating system perspective, it makes sense. It's like, well, I'm visual, so must she be. No, she is not visual. She's auditorily. Women are turned on by this hidden right brain language. It's literally called the internal language. Now, check this out. When you're in your logical left brain, you try to be Mr. Logical to impress her. By the way, do not try to impress women, because that's a push energy. The male brain, the left brain, is the push energy. So when you do that, you push her into her left brain, and thus you put yourself in the box, what they call the friend zone. And by the way, the left brain is what we call in psychology the in-the-box mentality. It's the in-the-box processor. So you know how you say, oh, she put me in the friend zone? No, you put yourself in the friend zone by trying to impress her with this forehead nasally language sounding logical. Nothing will turn a woman off faster, because now watch this. Her mating system curves off to the right brain. The right brain. If you come along, be Mr. Logical, in order to understand you, she has to shift over to her left brain to use the same processor. And now she disconnected from her mating system, and now you literally turned her off. If you want to learn how to turn a woman on, take my course, Crack the Female Code. If you want to begin, I'd buy this ultimate package. It has sex signals, it has Crack the Female Code, it has Get the Girl, Keep the Girl. And there's another book, and I'm drawing a blank on. Hold on a second. Oh yes, it has a bonus section that'll introduce you to part of the hidden language. So when you come in the course, your brain doesn't fry, because a lot of men will come like, this doesn't make any sense. So the idea is to read these books, so when you come in the course, you're prepared to launch. I also give you a free 1-hour consultation, so you can ask any questions about the book Crack the Female Code to understand it better, or if you misunderstood something. But I only do that after you read the book, okay? I recommend you read that book and then read Get the Girl, Keep the Girl, because that introduces to you, and it teaches you how to do the internal awareness techniques. Now, internal awareness is really hard to learn through a book, but I put my heart and soul into that book so you could figure it out, okay? So at the very least, it'll really prepare your brain, because the internal awareness stuff kind of freaks men out when they first start to do it, because it opens you up to a different part of your brain, and some clients will literally break down crying because it's such a weird, like, what is that? It's such a different experience that it kind of freaks you out. But once you put the pieces together, all of a sudden, internal awareness, it's all about internal awareness. I use this guy here, he's a jiu-jitsu champion. But the point is, this is what you're going to be like with women. You are literally going to be the greatest jiu-jitsu champion when it comes to picking up on women, seducing women, and saving your marriage. Now, here's another thing I want to say. This actually is based on your heart. The right brain is the emotional processor. It's about connecting to your heart. It's about opening up emotionally. So if you think we're taking advantage of women, no. Women are already aware of all of this. They just can't figure out, and I have had hundreds and hundreds of women say this to me over the decades. I know that when men want to have sex with us, but why don't they do this? Like, this is what we need in order to have sex with them, but men don't do this. They always try to pay for things and take us out to dinner, and the whole time we're waiting for them to do this. And when they read my book for women, Why Men Just Don't Get It, they're like, oh, I always wondered why men don't do it. So we're wired differently. Yes, but men can learn how to do it. Go to crackthefemalecode.com right now and buy my book, Crack the Female Code, or get the ultimate package. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Click subscribe. We're going to be kicking videos out from here on out, guys.